Welcome viewers, I am Professor Ashish Agarwal and we are going to discuss inventory planning and control, which is a course, part of a course in your program, whether you are a student of MBA Logistic and Supply Chain Management or postgraduate certificate in inventory planning and warehousing. In MBALS it is MMPL 002, while in case of PGCIPWS it is MWR01, that is Introduction to Inventory Planning and Control. In that we will today discuss economic order quantity. Before starting, I would like to brief you why we study the inventory and why we need the inventory planning and control. Just basic. If you start with your kitchen, you will find that there are multiple of items, just like vegetable, flours, different types of spices. If you are using gas, then gas cylinder, also many other items, small items, even water. Now they have their limited quantity. For your daily use, you need a certain quantity. Suppose half an kg or 250 grams of flour every day. Then some vegetable like potato, tomato and other things you need. Then spices, different types of ingredients which you mix while making the your curry or sabji or vegetable for eating your food, taking the food. You keep, or your wife, your mother, your sister or your maidservant will keep a certain inventory so that every day you do not need to go to the market. Then before finally consumption of the item, she will remind you that this item is required. She will not say that after how many days he or she has the item with hand, but she will ask you to bring the things from the market. The item which keep in anticipation of future use is termed as the inventory, and the management of inventory so that there is not a shortage of the item in your house and you will not leave a day without food is called the inventory planning and the control. So in today's session, what we are going to learn, we will first learn what is the concept of inventory. We will also tell you what is the purpose of inventory control. Then we will discuss the different types of inventory cost. Then we will try to understand what is economic order quantity, and with the help of one simple example, you will appreciate that I have divided the very simple example in a different steps. And after this session, because this type of a question is very simple, but the student always miss this question or will try to escape from this question, seeing either he or she is not able to understand, or it seems him or her a difficult question. But my effort in today's session is to explain this in a very, very simple and layman language, so that after this session you will ask yourself, let us try a difficult question. Now, what is inventory? As I told you, any type of a stock of items, goods, materials or product that a business holds for the purpose of production, sale or use in operation. There are three things. First, we keep the inventory either to produce something, just like your manufacturing unit. For the purpose of sale, auto dealers or retailers, what they do? They keep the inventory of vehicle, they keep the inventory of many items which a customer used to come and take. So they keep the inventory for the purpose of sale. Another is use in operation. Your automotive manufacturing company, they will require some items for maintaining the continuity in their operation. Just like your coolants or the fluid, they required for the operation, then raw material, then different types of tools they require. So this is all called the inventory. Now, what is included in the inventory? The first most is the raw material. Any unit, any organization unit always keep the raw material in hand, because from the raw material they will go to the work in process. But they will keep the inventory of raw material, they will also keep the inventory of work in process. Third one is that is included in the inventory is the finished product, that is waiting for the ship, that it is ready. And the fourth one is very important, that is MRO in short, and if I explain you or elaborate it, it is maintenance, repair and operation items. As I told you, different types of tools, coolant, measurement item, because the quality control is also very important. So for that purpose, we need certain items so that there should be a continuity in the operations. Then a question always arises in my mind as well as your mind or anybody who reads inventory. Why we need the inventory control? The first and the most, we want to maximize the efficiency in the production and the distribution. We want to maximize the efficiency of the production, because if the items are reaching at right time at right place, then definitely our operator will be able to perform the task. Same thing with the distribution. If we want to distribute the grocery item among various marketing zone, we need that those items in my hand or our hand, so that I can able to distribute and satisfy the customer demand. So the first and the foremost, we want the inventory control to maximize the production and the distribution efficiency. Second important point is we also want to reduce the inactive things. You will be surprised to know that earlier most of the items were purchased which were not required, but they were purchased just because of that one person in the top management or from the pressure of somebody else. Second, we want to minimize the waste. We also minimize the surplus. When I took the training, I found that a company in the Faridabad has lot of surplus items. They used to keep surplus item. Even the automotive company in 89 or 90, they were known as the company or the ancillary unit is more powerful who keep the surplus items. Then another I think is obsolete item, because once you have the access and they are not utilized, they will be obsolete after certain of times. Third important reason is we want to minimize the holding cost as well as shortage cost of the inventory as well as the replacement. If you have old obsolete, you need to replace it, and that cost too much. As I told you in my learning objective, that we will also explain you the different types of cost involved in the inventory control. First most is the item cost. If we are purchasing, we are going to pay certain items. Your chair, your table or laptop, we will give some price for that. That is called the item cost. Second one is your holding cost. If we are keeping an item in our warehouse or store, that is called the holding cost. Then ordering cost. Ordering cost is then we give some order that include our office expenses, then many other expenses, and it is one time. Shortage cost, if we are not able to obtain that particular item and we stop our production, that is a shortage cost. Or a retailer, if he or she does not have the item and the customer is coming and going back without that item, losing the brand value is called as the shortage cost. Now, there are various other types of inventory. Earlier, what we have discussed, just like work in process inventory, raw material inventory, finish inventory, and the MRO inventory. Now, there are other types of inventory, just like first one is your anticipation inventory. Anticipation inventory is that inventory that a organization purchase in thinking that there will be a huge demand in the future or there will be change in the demand. For that purpose, they keep the anticipation inventory. Another one is safety stock. Again, it is a type of a buffer type of a things. That item is coming from a distance place. We have a lead time of 5 days, but due to uncertainty in the transportation, we will get the material instead of 5 days, we will get the item in 7 days. So we need the extra amount of item, that is called the safety stock. Another type of a inventory is your lot size or the cycle stock. Suppose we decide that every month or total demand is your 12,000 items, and we decide that every month we will get 1,000. So 1,000 size is the lot size or the cycle stock. So every month we will have the 1,000 of the items that is required and that has to be purchased every month. Another type of a small definition, just like pipeline or the transportation inventory. Suppose as a supplier, I supplied 100 and 100 5 days continuously, but it has not reached to the your manufacturer or the buyer. So the total inventory in transit or the pipeline or in transportation is 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, that is 500. So This 500 which we are dispatching every day is called as the pipeline inventory or the transportation inventory or the transit inventory. Another type of inventory is your speculative or hedge. If you are speculating a huge demand in the coming season, for making that particular finished product, you need certain items and you are experiencing or visualizing that there will be shortage. So you purchase in a speculation that there will be a shortage. So it is called speculative or the hedge inventory. Another type of inventory we have discussed, that is the maintenance, repair and the operation inventory. Now we will discuss the purpose of inventory control. First, we want to ensure the product or the component availability. That is the foremost purpose. Second purpose, we want to minimize the cost. If there are two reasons. First, we want to minimize the cost because when we purchased in bulk, there will be discount. So we are saving the money. Another important thing, if we purchase or if we do not have the inventory, enough inventory in our store or the workshop, then we will suffer the stoppage of the break or the breakage or the stoppage of the production line. That will also a cost involving. We will optimize the inventory level. We do not want the high inventory. We do not want the low inventory. So we are optimizing the inventory. Fourth one is we want to increase or improve the operational efficiency by providing the item at right time at right place. If you are able to produce the item well in time and you are able to provide the finished good at your dealer hand for the customer at the right time, your customer will be satisfied. The satisfaction level will increase. Another important point or the purpose is mitigating the risk. We have seen in COVID-19 that due to shortage of supply, we were not able to meet the customer demand. Even there was a shortage of the manpower. So this type of purpose of the inventory is we want to mitigate the risk. Now there are other terms which we will discuss during our formula for the economic order quantity. First one is your reorder point. Reorder point is the point where the item is dropping or the quantity of item is dropping and you have to order at that time so that there should not be any shortage of the item. That point is called as the reorder point. Another point or the term is your safety stock. If your lead time is large and you are uncertain about the delivery, you keep a safety stock at your end so that there should not be any shortage of the item and there should be a continuous and the smooth operation. Another term which is coming is your service level. If I explain you in a very layman language, the service level is suppose there is a order or the 100 your customer. Now by improving the efficiency, you are able to satisfy 90% of the customer by reaching to them. Then your service level will be 90%. But if you are able to serve only 80 customers, then your service level is 80%. This is the basic concept about the service level. Another term for which we are having the today's discussion is the economic order quantity. Economic order quantity is that optimal quantity that company should order each time to minimize the total cost of inventory, that include the ordering cost as well as the holding cost. Now we will come to the assumption. When we have an assumption for the deriving the equation for the economic order quantity, first and most important is our lead time is constant. We have a demand is constant. We have a instantaneous. If you see the figure, you will find it is a sawtooth type of a figure, but the replenishment is at once when there is a zero inventory. There is no shortage and there is a single product model. There are not two. So first we will take the single, then we will come to the two product or three product model. In EOQ model, there are certain assumptions, just like ordering cost is constant, all demands are satisfied. This is the formula for EOQ, that is economic order quantity is under root of 2 times annual demand, then ordering cost divided by the annual holding cost. This figure will show you a optimum point. If you see this figure, at the middle there is a vertical line, and where your ordering cost is equal to the holding cost. Now we will take one example, that a company having the 8,000 units of a particular item every year, that is they are selling. The cost of placing a single order is $100, and the holding cost for one unit is rupees $2.5 per year. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the economic order quantity. We have to calculate the number of orders to be placed in a year. Then what is the time gap between the two orders? And then finally total inventory cost. So first we will identify, when you receive a problem, you identify what data you have been given. You have been given annual demand, that is D, that is 8,000 unit. Then we have also given ordering cost per order, that is $100, and also the holding cost per unit per year, that is $2.5 per year. Now what is the standard formula? EOQ, economic order quantity, is under root of 2 times demand into ordering cost divided by the holding cost. First we have to find out the economic order quantity. We will first calculate the numerator, where we have a 2 times demand into ordering cost. 8,000 is the demand and 100 is the ordering cost. So we will get 16 lakhs at the numerator. Now at the division we have a holding cost or the carrying cost, that is 2.5. So we will get 6,40,000 is the quantity or the number which is coming. If we take the square root of it, we will get the 800. So the answer of the first part which has been asked is the economic order quantity is 800 is the optimal quantity. Now what we want again, what has been asked from us is the number of orders. What are the orders which have to be placed in a year? For that the formula is annual demand divided by the economic order quantity. The annual demand is 8,000, at 800 is the your economic order quantity. So we will divide 8,000 by 800. So there is a 10 order per year. So the company should place 10 orders per year. Now third thing which has been asked, what is the time between the order? Between the two placement order. The total order are 10. So what is the formula? Number of working days in a year divided by the number of orders per year. So the number of working days, if I take as a 360, so 360 by 10, so 36 days is the time between the two orders. This is your third answer. Now, the fourth thing which has been asked is the total cost, total annual inventory cost. So, the total cost, that is in short TC, is associated with the ordering cost as well as the holding cost. And now if we take the total ordering cost, that is on annual demand by the EOQ into, this will give you the number of orders, then multiplied by ordering cost will give you the total ordering cost. Similarly, holding cost will be the average inventory. In what is the average inventory? That is, initial it is 0, then it comes to EOQ, economic order quantity. So the average inventory will be 0 plus EOQ divided by 2 will be your average inventory, multiplied by the holding cost, that is $2.5 per year. So the total cost will be the total ordering cost and the total holding cost. In this case, you can calculate by seeing this slide that the total ordering cost is $1,000, total holding cost is again 1,000, and the total inventory cost will be 1,000 plus 1,000, that is the 2,000. So you have calculated the all the four things which has been asked. There are certain limitations of the EOQ. When we calculate the EOQ, suppose it is coming 50.5. You cannot give the order for 50.5. You have to take either 51 or the order which is acceptable to your vendor. If your vendor is giving a condition that he will not supply less than 60, so whatever you have calculated the EOQ, you have to place the order for 60. So that is the one of the limitation. Another thing is that sometimes you have to take other limitations, just like simplification of routes, and the time is also difficult. In case of perishable item, this is another problem. You cannot buy a item which is perishable in more than, because you have a certain limitations also. So in today's session, what we have discussed about the inventory, what is the purpose of inventory control, what are the different costs they are involved in the inventory control, then what are the different types of inventory, just like work in process inventory, finished good inventory, MRO inventory, and the raw material inventory. Similarly, pipeline inventory. Then we have calculated the EOQ or economic order quantity for a simple problem by explaining in a 4-step. I trust that my today's session will be helpful you to understand this particular subtopic, that is economic order quantity and the inventory. Thank you. Thank you very much.